filling the scorecard with our friend Steve Phillips on a Wednesday morning. Steve, good morning. And we've gone, about an hour and a half on the program. We really haven't talked about Yamamoto much. In terms of Yoshinobu Yamamoto and the free agent bidding process, the Dodgers, Mets, Yankees all in play. Are the Dodgers going to have enough to stave off the Steve Cohen checkbook in this process? And how do you see this playing out?
Well, I think they're going to try. I think his name now is going to be Yamamoto. He's going to want more money than what everybody's offering right now. I mean, you look at this. I mean, the reports are the Dodgers somewhere between $250 million to $300 million. I don't know how many years this is going to turn into a 10-year deal. Now, it just doesn't make any sense for me at all to give a pitcher this long of a contract that it's going to have to take to be able to pay him the amount of money that we're hearing. There were reports that he's been already offered over $300 million. I'm not sure that's the case. The Dodgers have the money. The deferral for Ohtani certainly gives them that opportunity. And the reality is even the annual average value at $46 million gives it. But it does feel like that if it comes down to dollars, Steve Cohen, who flew to Japan on his own plane to spend time with him, who had him into his own home and who showed him the $92 million sterling silver rabbit that he has in his front yard. I mean, once you show somebody that, they know that they can ask for anything, and you're going to probably say yes to it. And so I think that if it comes to dollars, the Mets are going to get them.
Oh, man, Steve, this is so good. And then there's Bellinger out there, everybody else. My question is this. You've been in those offices, you've been in meetings. How do you set a market? And so do you go back, you look at, okay, this guy's a free agent, here's what he did, here's what he got, we'll move forward, we'll average in what this might cost present day. How does someone set markets and why this guy's exploding so much? But setting the market, how do you do that?
Right. So I think the guy to explain this is really Cody Bellinger. So when Scott Boras represents a player, he tends to tell you this is what the market's going to be for my guy. 3 times he's been in the top 10 for MVP. He's an iconic talent. He has tools and this, and he's 28. We're looking for an 8 to 10 year contract, and automatically that's telling you it's going to be over $200 million. And so he tries to set the market. Teams then evaluate, okay, who is he as a player? What's his predictability to continue to be that? And that's where Bellinger's a challenge. We had this conversation this morning on the leadoff spot on MLB Network Radio, and I thought Eduardo Perez made a great point in that when you're in a room of people evaluating Bellinger, there are going to be split camps. You're going to have some people say, I believe in him. He's fixed. He's going to be better. That 133 OPS plus, he's that guy. There will be others who say, yeah, I don't know. Like his exit velocity wasn't there. And if the owner's in that room, you're in trouble as the general manager. If you want to give him 8 years, the owner's going to say, well, wait a minute. You've got half your room saying you don't think he's trustworthy to be that player predictably moving forward. And so that is going to set the market. And what it's going to do is it's going to pull years off the deal. And so I think age is a factor. Predictability is a factor, right? How much can I assume that from year to year, this is the player you're going to be? And the best way to do that is to look at the player's last 3 years. Well, for Yamamoto, he won the Sawamura Award 3 straight years in Japan. He's been consistently great. For Bellinger, you've got 2 down years and 1 good year. How do you figure out what the predictability of that is moving forward? And therein lies the delay and the challenge for Bellinger. Boras looks at the glass half full, or actually he looks at it as awful, and the teams are looking at it as half empty in some ways. How do you come up with the right range and set the market? There's a challenge. Bellinger, the most complicated negotiation this year.
So, Steve, yesterday I was saying just because Ohtani was offered $700 by a few different teams, it sounds like now, the numbers out there, does not mean that $700 is on their budgets for them to go spend. And so I wasn't saying Bellinger wants $700. I'm saying just because they had $700 for so-and-so does not mean now we'll go spend $200 for another player. Explain that.
Great point. Right. So as a general manager, I'm thinking, wait, the owner gave me $700 million to spend on Ohtani, and if I didn't get him, wow, what can I do with that $700 million to go get 5 other guys to make my team that much better? And that's where the owner goes, yeah, no. We were going to make money back on Ohtani, that we're not going to be able to market these other players in the same way. We know that Ohtani was going to generate a certain amount of revenues to offset his salary. And so, yeah, I think it's a completely different issue. And Ohtani was going to be a different line item on the budget. You're going to have a payroll budget and then the Ohtani line item over here, which is different. And so, yeah, you're right. General managers, we don't really know the impact on the budget. We do know this. that the Blue Jays still have money to spend because they're in on Bellinger and they're in on Yamamoto. We know the Giants were in on Yamamoto. The Dodgers are still in. And so I think that for many of the teams, Yamamoto is certainly still a factor. But can you then spend another $400 million on top of him? Probably not. And so you're going to have to look at alternatives. If plan A is the pitcher, you better look at alternatives for all of the other needs you have on your team, because you're going to have to pay them less and therefore get lesser players to bring into your club. Some
of that rationale, Steve, applies to the next guy I want to ask you about. And I heard you and Eduardo on the leadoff spot on MLB Network Radio this morning talking a lot about Yuki Matsui, 5'8", very different kind of pitcher profile than Yamamoto. San Diego among the interested suitors. What kind of money, what kind of other offers might be out there for him?
Right. So there were reports that the Cardinals were in on him. Now, this is a reliever that has gotten to 200, the quickest to ever get to 200 saves in Japan. He had been a reliever that was a multiple inning guy. The last 3 years, he's been a one-inning pitcher. And so he's a closer type. Now, a left-hander, he reminds me of John Franco. Now, John Franco's put-away pitch was the changeup. For Yuki Matsui, it's his split. He's got an outstanding split. He can locate the fastball. He's got his fair share of swings and misses. Now, he walks more than a few, but the reports are that this could get done today with the Padres, and I don't suspect this is a long-term deal. It's going to be less than Josh Hader. It's going to be less than Jordan Hicks, and less than what those guys are getting. But a guy that's had great success, and relievers coming from Japan, I think can step right in and do a really nice job. And so the reports are that it looks like San Diego is likely to get this done.
San Diego perhaps in play for a highly coveted back into the bullpen piece. This tweet, Yuki Matsui, left-handed reliever from Rakuten Golden Eagles in the Nippon Professional Baseball League, close to signing with the Padres.
Stand there with Yu Darvish in that picture.
Sankei Sports sending that over. Steve Phillips with us on Wednesday. Steve, as always, thanks for the insights.